My child, my beloved, there is something very strange happening in the spirit realm right now. Heaven has been trying to reach you all morning, and it's not for nothing. A name has been circling around you day and night, a letter that heaven keeps repeating again and again, the letter M. This is not a coincidence. This is not random. There is a warning in the wind, but only the chosen one can hear it. And that chosen one is you, my beloved. Don't ignore this calling. I come to you not just as Archangel Michael, but as a divine messenger sent by God Himself. God is whispering in my ear, telling me to tell you, tell them quickly before they make the biggest mistake of their lives. Please, before I go deeper into this urgent message, subscribe now so you never miss when heaven releases another private word meant only for you. Today's message has already been blocked 3 times by the enemy before it reached you. Someone tried to stop this message from arriving, and I will tell you why. The truth inside this message is going to expose something, or someone, and their name starts with M. You're feeling this already, aren't you? There's something not right around you. You've been ignoring the strange energy, but heaven hasn't. God has been watching it unfold for weeks. This person is not who they pretend to be. They smile in your face, but behind your back, they have spoken things that would shatter your heart. Heaven caught them. God knows, and now you do too. I need you to stay with me for every word of this message because the next 20 minutes could save your life, your peace, and your destiny. Someone is warning you, and that someone is no ordinary soul. They are in the spirit realm right now, crying out your name. They saw what was done in the dark, and they ran to heaven's gates to plead for you. Their warning came loud and clear, but only you can act on it. Only you have the authority to break what's been done. Yes, my beloved, something has been done to you. But don't panic, because the same God who allowed you to see this message is the God who will destroy the plan of the one whose name starts with M. Let me be clear now, this person is not just a friend or a stranger. They may be in your home, in your bloodline, in your phone, or they may have left recently, but their shadow is still in your energy. The truth is, they've been blocking you, blocking your joy, your financial breakthrough, your health recovery, your divine relationships, and your peace at night. They thought no one would notice. They thought God would stay silent. But oh, how wrong they were, because heaven is not asleep. Heaven is watching, and now heaven is moving. But here's what you must do first, you must finish this message. Do not skip, do not scroll, do not delay. Because the moment you read to the very end of this divine transmission, something will be unsealed, a truth that was hidden will rise, and the grip of the one whose name starts with M will be broken. Do you remember the last time you felt drained for no reason? Do you remember the dream you had, the one you didn't understand? That was the moment their energy entered your atmosphere, and it was no accident. They targeted you spiritually because they saw your light, but they underestimated your anointing. They underestimated your divine protection. And today, Archangel Michael is here to remind you, you are not just anyone, you are chosen. And when a chosen one is warned by heaven, they must listen. Now, I must ask you something bold. Are you ready to see what was written about this person in the Book of Judgments? I can open it for you, but only if you're spiritually ready. This person, the one whose name starts with M, was never supposed to stay in your life this long. They had an assignment, but they overstayed their welcome. Now your blessings are being delayed, but not for long, because this message is a spiritual court order and it has one instruction: release the one whose name starts with M and receive the one who brings miracles. Yes, you're not just being warned, you're being promised something in return. The moment you remove their energy, a new presence will enter. It will happen fast, and it will be obvious. You'll feel a weight lift and peace you didn't even know you were missing. You'll get a message, a call, a divine surprise. But it cannot come while M is still holding space in your spirit. So listen carefully now. Let heaven guide you in the next part. Close your eyes if you have to, because I will begin telling you exactly how to discern who this M is. They are someone you've been unsure about. You've asked God about them before. You felt hesitation, then guilt because you didn't want to think poorly of them. But it wasn't your mind, it was your spirit warning you. And now heaven confirms it. They hide behind smiles, but their words cut behind closed doors. They speak peace, but they stir trouble in your name. They act humble, but secretly compete with you. You know who I'm speaking of, don't you? Don't doubt yourself. The enemy wants to confuse your discernment. But today, I'm sharpening it. And by the end of this message, the fog will be gone, the truth will shine, and a divine release will take place. My child, my beloved, the wind is speaking right now, and the message is clearer than ever. The person whose name begins with M has already made their move. But they forgot one thing: God sees everything. Nothing hidden shall stay hidden forever. And today is the day of exposure. You might feel chills right now. That's not fear, that's your soul beginning to recognize the truth. That's the spirit of confirmation flowing through you. This M was warned before. They were told through dreams, through signs, not to harm you, but they disobeyed. Their disobedience triggered the heavens because you are too important, too precious, too chosen to be treated like this. Again, so now a divine reversal is being activated. Let me tell you what that means. Everything they sent toward you, words, thoughts, plans, will bounce back to them sevenfold. Not because you asked for revenge, but because heaven honors the purity of your heart. And now the justice you didn't ask for will be delivered to your front door. You don't need to lift a hand, you don't need to say a word, because God is doing it for you. But here's something you must know: this M may reach out to you soon. They may pretend they've changed. They may speak sweeter than ever, but the truth is they've sensed the shift in the spiritual realm. They feel the access closing, and now they are desperate to stay in your life. Don't fall for the illusion. Their apologies are empty. If their spirit remains unclean, you've grown too much to go back. You've seen too much to stay blind. And heaven says you are not the same person anymore, so don't respond like the old you would. Respond like the crowned one that you are, because a throne is being prepared for you, and the one with M is not allowed to sit beside it. They were never meant to rule with you, only to walk a part of your journey. But now that part is over, and God has whispered this: my child will rise, but only when the shadows are removed. So rise, beloved. Rise with wisdom. Rise with discernment. Rise with your sword of light. And know this, Archangel Michael has been dispatched personally for this situation. I don't arrive for just any battle. I arrive when the destiny of the chosen is under attack. And yours is, but not for long. Because I have seen the scrolls. I have read your name in the records of heaven, and I know what's coming next for you, a divine exchange. Let me explain what that is. When something is taken by manipulation, lies, and deceit, heaven demands an exchange. And because this interfered with your joy, God is preparing to replace what was lost, but better, stronger, sweeter, and with divine speed. There's someone else whose name begins with L or J. They carry the opposite energy of M. Where M deceives, this person will reveal. Where M confuses, this soul will bring clarity. Where M took, this one will give. And they're closer than you think. Heaven is making room for them by removing the old shadow. But you must release it. Don't keep that connection alive in your heart, even silently or mentally, because silent soul ties still block active blessings. But here's the miracle, if you release them now, a 7-day countdown will begin. And on the 7th day, you'll wake up to an unexpected shift. You'll receive either a message, a deposit, a visitation, or a revelation. But it can't happen if your hands are still holding the pain of them. Let go. Even if you don't fully understand, even if part of you still craves closure, understand this, God doesn't always send closure. Sometimes He sends a sword. And that sword is here to cut you free from what your heart didn't know was destroying you. You've been loyal. You've been forgiving. You've been too patient, and heaven saw it all. You will be rewarded for your compassion, but not at the cost of your calling. The time has come to choose, hold on to the one who tried to dim your light, or walk boldly toward the one who was sent to reignite your fire. I already know what you're choosing, because you're still here reading, receiving, believing. And for that, I must tell you, heaven is proud of you. And heaven is not done yet. There's something about the month of November. A key will turn for you. Then a decision you make now in this moment will shape what is released in that month, and it starts with this message. This message was sent to your timeline for a reason. There are millions on earth, but only you were called to see this message today. That's not random. That's revelation. And when you respond to revelation, you receive elevation. So now I give you this next step, say this out loud with your spirit in alignment, I release the one whose energy no longer honors my purpose. I break agreement with deception and step into full alignment with divine truth. Amen. That small prayer just sent shock waves into the spiritual world. Chains just broke. Light just pierced through the confusion, and a spiritual gate just opened for you. Do you feel it? Something is shifting even now. And yet there's still more I must reveal to you. Because the one with M was not acting alone. There was another spirit whispering in their ear, a generational spirit, one that's been in your family before. It used manipulation, jealousy, and flattery to get close to chosen ones. And now it tried to work through M. But heaven has caught it. A key will turn for you, and the decision you make now in this moment will shape what is released in that month. It starts with this message. This message was sent to your timeline for a reason. There are millions on Earth, but only you were called to see this message today. That's not random. That's revelation. And when you respond to revelation, you receive elevation. So now I give you this next step. Say this out loud with your spirit in alignment. I release the one whose energy no longer honors my purpose. I break agreement with deception and step into full alignment with divine truth. Amen. That small prayer just sent shock waves into the spiritual world. Chains just broke. Light just pierced through the confusion, and a spiritual gate just opened for you. Do you feel it? Something is shifting even now. And yet there's still more I must reveal to you because the one with M was not acting alone. There was another spirit whispering in their ear, a generational spirit, one that's been in your family before. It used manipulation, jealousy, and flattery to get close to chosen ones. And now it tried to work through M. But heaven has caught it. And heaven is ready to destroy it once and for all. But you must see it for what it is, a pattern, not just a person. And if you break the pattern, your entire bloodline shifts. Yes, this is bigger than you. What you do today may heal wounds from 3 generations back. What you choose now could bless the next 3 generations forward. That's why the enemy fought this message. That's why this nearly didn't reach you. But it did, because your angels are stronger. Because you were always meant to know the truth. And because the time is now, my child, my beloved, there is something you need to know before the next 24 hours pass. The name M has become a spiritual echo around you, and echoes don't lie. You've heard it in your dreams. You've seen it on paper. You've noticed it more than usual. That is not coincidence. That is heaven amplifying the signal until you finally open the message meant for your freedom. And now you have, now you are aligned. And the truth will be poured out like oil upon you. Let me tell you the part they never wanted you to know. This person, whose name begins with M, was never just a casual part of your life. They were a decoy, a divine test, a spirit in disguise to see if you could tell light from imitation light. They wore kindness like a mask. They spoke spiritual things just enough to sound trustworthy. But their intention was always self-serving. They were never loyal to your growth, only to your access. They weren't present for your heart, only for your energy. But now you've awakened. Now the veil has been torn. Now your soul is seeing clearly. That's why the tension started increasing between you and this M recently. Because when God starts shaking the tree, the rotten fruit starts falling. And that's exactly what's happening. Don't try to fix what God is trying to finish. Don't try to restore what heaven is trying to remove. This M may appear again in dreams, in memory, or even in physical reality, but now you will see differently. Now the spell is broken because the enemy had wrapped their identity in confusion. They appeared sweet, but their name carried a spiritual bitterness meant to distract your destiny. And I must tell you this, they were sent to delay your alignment with a miracle. Yes, a miracle is overdue. And heaven is not okay with the delay anymore. So, I've been sent to break it, to expose it, and to announce the next phase of your divine story. You, beloved, are stepping into the most sacred transition of your life. Everything that was hidden behind the curtain will now be laid bare before your spirit. You will begin to see it in your body. Clarity will return to your thoughts. The heaviness in your chest will start lifting. Suddenly, ideas will flow again. Suddenly, love will feel real again. Suddenly, joy will no longer feel like a memory because M took too much from you. But heaven is not letting that theft go unnoticed. There will be a divine repayment, not just for what was taken, but for every second you spent confused, doubting yourself, crying behind closed doors. You will be restored. But more than that, you will be lifted. Now listen closely. There is a number being shown to me, the number 3. This number is appearing as a window in time, 3 days, 3 people, 3 messages. Within the next 3 days, someone will contact you. It may come as a comment, a strange dream, or even a passing word from a stranger, but hidden inside it will be confirmation. Heaven loves to confirm. And because you stayed to read this sacred scroll, heaven will reward your patience with a sign that no one can argue with. And when it arrives, say nothing out loud. Just nod your head in quiet agreement. That's how the blessing will unlock. Because when you spiritually agree with truth, earth must respond. Even the angels rejoice when a chosen one awakens to divine alignment. And you, beloved, are waking up. Not just from sleep, but from spiritual sleep. You are no longer walking in the fog created by M's presence. You are now moving into sacred visibility. People will begin noticing your light again. Doors will begin responding to your vibration again. Heaven is tuning you like an instrument, and the sound of your life will be harmony once more. But you must stay alert because when one false soul is exposed, the enemy sometimes tries to send another. But not this time. Because the one coming next, the one with the J or L, they are not just a person, they are a key. They are the next step in the divine promise that was paused. You see, beloved, the M was a blocker. But this next person is a builder. And builders don't just appear by accident, they are summoned by your growth. Heaven always replaces what it removes. But what's coming next isn't just a replacement, it's an upgrade. Because you've graduated. Because you passed the test of spiritual discernment. Because you were willing to read the message that most would scroll past. And heaven honors that. Now listen. I must share a secret. God told me something just before I arrived to speak to you. He said, "Tell my child I've hidden their name in the palm of my hand, and nothing can snatch them from me now." Do you know what that means? You are sealed. You are protected. You are in a divine holding. Even when you don't feel it, even when the world shakes, your foundation will hold. Because you are written in places that demons cannot erase. Your name has been recorded in scrolls they cannot touch. That's why they fought you so hard. That's why M was sent, not because you were weak, but because you were important. They feared what you would become. They knew your light would wake others up. So they tried to trap you with sweetness laced in spiritual poison. But heaven has purged it now. You are being cleaned from the inside out. And once the spirit is clean, miracles can live there. Yes, miracles. Because the season ahead of you is nothing short of divine reversal. You thought it was over. You thought you missed your chance. But what if I told you it's only just beginning, and this time no M will stand in your way? Because this time you will see clearly. This time you will listen to your spirit the first time it whispers. This time you will say yes to peace, even if it means saying no to people. Because your destiny is louder than their comfort, and heaven is watching now. My child, my beloved, now that your eyes have opened, now that your spirit has begun to rise, heaven is ready to show you what was always waiting behind the veil. There is one last thing I must tell you about the person whose name begins with the letter M. They are watching you. Yes, even now, they sense that something has shifted in the atmosphere. They don't know exactly what, but they can feel you pulling away from their control, from their influence, from their secret spiritual attachment. You see, they weren't just close to you in the physical, they tried to tether themselves to your destiny. They knew they couldn't stop what God had planned for you, so they tried to delay it. But, beloved, they failed because you're here now, reading this, waking up to the truth, opening your spiritual eyes. And as you break free, I see the chains falling all around you, one by one. Fear is breaking. Confusion is breaking. Manipulation is breaking. Your inner voice is returning to full strength. You'll begin to hear it clearer now, that voice inside that says, this isn't right. That holy knowing that says, walk away. Don't doubt it this time. That's how God speaks to His chosen, not always with thunder, but sometimes with a whisper. And today, that whisper has become a warning, not to scare you, but to prepare you. You've been given a second chance to rebuild the part of you that M tried to slowly dismantle. Piece by piece, you'll become whole again. Piece by piece, heaven will restore what was taken. And not just restore, but multiply. Because when God sees betrayal, He prepares a table, a divine feast in the presence of your enemies. And that M. They will watch from afar as you flourish. They will wonder how you rose after what they did. They will wonder how heaven still chose you. And the answer will be simple, you never stopped being chosen. Even when you doubted, even when you broke, even when you were confused by their charm. God never removed His hand from you. He just waited for the moment you would open this message and remember who you really are. You are not weak. You are not lost. You are not behind. You are divinely aligned for something far greater than what you just walked away from. Let me tell you what's coming next. You will be gifted something in the next 9 days. I see it clearly, a gift unexpected, a gift wrapped in peace. It could be a person, an opportunity, a divine instruction, a burst of healing, or even a message that shifts your entire mindset. But it's coming. And it will come because of what you just did. You said yes to clarity. You said yes to light. You said yes to letting go of the energy that no longer belongs in your life. And now heaven is saying yes to you. You are stepping into a new chapter where your discernment is sharper, your spirit is lighter, your heart is protected, and your gifts are unlocking. You will start seeing the signs more often now, the time on the clock, the feathers, the names, the numbers. You'll begin feeling nudges to go left instead of right, to call this person but not that one. To say yes to something new, even if it scares you. Don't second guess it. That's divine instruction flowing through you. You were never meant to live stuck in cycles, and heaven is done letting you be delayed. Now you will rise faster than anyone expected, because there's a calling over your life that can no longer be postponed. And the moment you said yes to this message, that calling began to reactivate. I want you to breathe slowly. Now close your eyes for just a moment. Let your chest rise and fall. Let the spiritual weight lift. You're not carrying it anymore. Heaven and archangelic forces have been dispatched on your behalf. They are surrounding your home. They are watching your digital space. They are protecting your family, and they are clearing every path you walk on. Now listen closely, the name M will come up again in a conversation, in a dream, or in a moment of silence. When it does, remember this message. Don't go back. You don't belong where confusion lives. You belong where peace reigns. You belong in divine timing, not toxic cycles. You belong in God's arms. And I say to you now, your future is too valuable to trade for familiar pain. This time, your spirit will choose differently, and the heavens will honor that. I see your feet stepping into new spaces, conversations filled with love, not manipulation, friendships with people who pour into you, not drain you, laughter that heals instead of hurts, and a love, yes, a love that doesn't hide behind masks. It's closer than you think. God has not forgotten your tears. He has not ignored your silent prayers, even the ones you couldn't put into words, even the ones you whispered while staring at the ceiling late at night. He caught them all, and now he answers through this. You are protected, you are free, you are chosen, and the one whose name begins with M can no longer block what God is about to do for you. This is your final confirmation. You've been asking for a sign. This is it. Don't second guess it again. Trust what you feel right now, that stillness, that peace, that breath you just took. That's the evidence that something has finally shifted. This message reached you because God overruled everything that tried to stop it, because He loves you, because you matter, and because your future is far too bright to let one name drag it into darkness. And now you walk forward with the sword of truth, with the shield of clarity, with the armor of discernment, and with the voice of heaven whispering at every step, I go before you. I make the path straight. You are never alone. So, my child, my beloved, take this message deep into your heart. Let it mark the beginning of your rise. Let it be the turning point. Because from this moment on, you are no longer under the spell of M. You are under the grace of God, and nothing, no one, can stop what's about to come for you, my child, my beloved. There is something else heaven whispered to me just moments ago. It was soft but urgent, and it has to do with a decision someone else is making about you right now. Yes, even while you're reading this, someone with authority over something important in your life is considering your name. They're hovering, hesitating, because there's still spiritual interference trying to block the blessing, and the name involved in that interference starts with M. Again, this is the final moment for that energy to be cut off fully. There is no more time to entertain what God is trying to erase. The angels have gathered around this final alert, and this is not a drill. You're standing at a gate. On one side is more of the same confusion, on the other is everything you prayed for, the clarity, the money, the real love, the health news you've been hoping for. But the gate won't open halfway. You must step fully through. And this message, this moment, is your spiritual act of stepping. I know letting go is hard, especially when you've loved deeply. But I tell you now, heaven never asks you to release something unless something better is already waiting. God is not cruel, He is calculating divine alignment. And when He closes a door, it's because your throne is on the other side of the hallway. And that hallway, you're walking through it now. This message is the hallway. And I see someone standing at the end of it, smiling. They carry no hidden motive, no shadows in their speech. They are pure. They are aligned. And most importantly, they were sent. They were delayed before because M was blocking the gate, but now that blockage is being removed. There will be signs of this in the coming hours, yes, hours, not weeks. Something strange will happen around your phone or screen. Either you'll get a message that surprises you, or something will go silent that was draining your energy. Don't panic, that's confirmation. That's alignment correcting itself. You are being shifted upward, quietly, but with holy force. And soon the people who thought they had power over you will be shocked at how quickly things turn in your favor. You'll start to notice it in your face, your body, your thoughts, your environment. Everything will begin to clear because M took up too much spiritual space. And now that space is being made holy again. My beloved, you are now standing in the moment that your future will look back on and say, that was the moment everything began to change. Yes, this is that moment. And even though it may feel like you're still in the same place physically, spiritually, everything just moved. You just got promoted without needing permission. Heaven just signed your name to something sealed, and the M who tried to delay it will now be denied access to your destiny. I know your heart is tender, you wanted to believe the best. But now you will no longer suffer for someone else's lesson. You will rise, and they will watch you shine. My child, my beloved, do not think it's a small thing that you opened this message today. Do not think it's an accident that your eyes met these words at this hour. Heaven has been organizing this divine moment since before you knew something was wrong, before you saw the patterns, before the confusion began, and before you started doubting your worth because of someone whose name begins with M. Yes, it's all been leading here, to now, to this exact moment. And now you are no longer operating from fear, but from spiritual truth. And truth will always shake everything false around you. So don't be surprised if certain people grow distant after this. Don't be surprised if you stop hearing from those you used to chase. That's not rejection, that's divine rearrangement. God is making room. And you will no longer be surrounded by people who secretly envy you. You will no longer beg to be understood by those who were never meant to carry your heart. You will no longer shrink yourself just to keep others comfortable. Because this next version of you is too powerful to hide. You've been hidden for long enough, but the veil is lifting, and M cannot follow where you're going next. Because what's ahead of you is reserved, holy, prepared in your name before you were even born. You're stepping into a field where the soil has been waiting for your feet to touch it. The path is new, but your spirit has already walked it in visions. You've dreamt it, you've felt it, you've sensed something coming. And now it's here. Let me show you a glimpse of what heaven is planning. You're going to feel a sudden burst of physical energy, a strange silence from people who used to distract you, an invitation from someone unexpected, a message containing an open door. These are not random, these are the aftershocks of your spiritual decision to finally cut ties with what heaven no longer blesses. Because when a chosen one stops tolerating counterfeit energy, heaven sends the real, and the real is coming faster than you imagined because there was a delay caused by M. But now the delay is broken. Now the scroll has been opened, and now your name is being called out in the courts of heaven. You have been found faithful. Even when you were confused, even when you were hurt, even when you loved wrongly, you still loved deeply. And heaven never punishes a pure heart, instead, it elevates it. So now I say to you, let go of M in your soul, not just your mind. Let them go spiritually. Let their shadow no longer sit beside your name. Because they were sent for a season, but that season has ended. You are now moving into a new spiritual cycle. And this cycle will contain new finances, new clarity, new honor, new rest, and new love. Yes, beloved, love is coming, and this time it won't break you. It won't confuse you. It won't drain you because it won't be sent to test you, it will be sent to heal you. But first, you must let heaven finish its work. There is one more spiritual assignment being completed over your name this week. That's why you've been sensing strange energy. That's why your sleep has been disrupted. That's why your thoughts have been running in circles because heaven is finalizing something. It's closing the book on everything attached to M. And when the final page turns, you will rise, not the same, not halfway, but fully transformed, cleansed, anointed for what comes next. And I promise you this, beloved, you will look back at this message one day, and you will say with tears in your eyes, that was the moment I woke up. That was the moment God snatched me from delay. That was the moment my life changed forever.